So there is no mutual relationship among those people, but they are interconnect for their objectives. When it comes in terms of the educational and research institution, it is going to give the contribution to the organization, that is the startups. So entry stage, growth, maturity and decline stage. These are the 4 phases of a product cycle. Regarding the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, it is an initiative that has been taken by Government of India for the employment generation in our country. Hello everyone, warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject called Entrepreneurship and Startup Ecosystem, that is Unit 3, Session 1 for 3rd semester BBA students. In today's session, we are going with the topic called Startup Ecosystem in India and Support Mechanisms. Means here we are going with the startup ecosystem which is going to benefit for the economy of our country and also development of our country. Here we are going with various aspects, that is various mechanism which is going to benefit for our economy from new startups. Meaning of a startup ecosystem. Here, before going to the concept, firstly it is a brief introduction towards a startup ecosystem. Here we get to know what exactly the ecosystem is, and in the same way how exactly it is going to support the economy of our country. A startup ecosystem refers to the network of community of people. Okay, so it is just a network of community of people. There are a different community of people who are present in this network. Organizations, resources and environment that work together to create and support the growth of startup companies. Okay, see, as I said, there are different communities of people. Different community, it is not about caste or religion. It is about different group of people. And here, most of them, they are investors. Most of them, they are ready to take the risk. They are entrepreneurs. Most of them, they are supposed to support the entrepreneurs. Okay, there are a different group of people who are going to be in touch with the entrepreneur. I will just give the example. Okay, so when it comes in terms of a startup ecosystem, okay, so there is an entrepreneur who start his new business. Okay, it is a group of people, one who take the initiative, one who take the responsibility, one who take the risk to start a new company or the new enterprise. Okay, we call them as entrepreneurs. Okay, so if there is no enough fund with the entrepreneurs, okay, so there is a development of a new category of the people called investors, for which they are going to expect something for their investment, that we call it as a return on investment. Okay, so and in the same way, there are another group of people who support that entrepreneurs by advertising, by marketing, by providing the virtual platform to them to advertise their product, to market their product, to create awareness about their product. Okay, so and again there are stakeholders. Okay, so there are a number of category of people who collaborate together to form an ecosystem. Okay, so that we call it as a startup ecosystem. It is an interconnected ecosystem. As I gave you the example, okay, so there are a number of people. Okay, so there is no mutual relationship among those people, but they are interconnect for their objectives. Say for example, profit making or earning is their objective. They are going to collaborate together to conduct any kind of the economic activity. Okay, so hence I mean to say it is a interconnected system that enables the innovation. Okay, so there will be a innovation. See what exactly the market wants is the innovative product, the differentiated product. Okay, so the consumers, okay, so is going to look towards the innovation. They are look towards the upgradation. Okay, so here now today's the modern marketing concept is working towards the customer centric approach. Whatever the thing that is expected, whatever the thing that is being demanded by the customer, we need to facilitate them. Okay, so there must be a innovation and entrepreneurship. As I said, they are the group of people who are going to bear the risk and conduct a business. And business development. Okay, so business development, there are a number of intermediaries who join together for the development of business. So it may be the marketer, it may be the advertising. Okay, so it may be the sales, it may be the logistic. Okay, all the kinds of thing which is going to collaborate together for the conduction of business within the particular region or sector, within a particular region or sector. Okay, again the product has been classified into different sectors. Okay, so manufacturing, okay, so service based companies, okay, so different kinds of companies. In the manufacturing companies also it has been classified into number of categories. Okay, so number of categories, it may be the pharmaceutical company, okay, so it may be FMCG company, it may be durable, it may be a perishable. Okay, so it has been classified into many categories. So we need to go through the contents as per the category of a particular slot that we are going to select towards. Moving forward, definition of startup ecosystem. Okay, so a dynamic network of startups, a dynamic network of startups. The name itself, it is going to say that it is dynamic in nature, which keep on changing from one time to another time, generation to generation, trend to trend. Okay, so it keep on innovating new things, it keep on giving the contribution to the market. Okay, as I said, it is a customer centric approach. Okay, as per the desires of the customer, needs and wants of the customers. And institutions. Okay, so there are a number of institutions which is present over there. Okay, so which collaborate together to for conduction of any kind of a business, and other stakeholders that interact to create, support and sustain entrepreneurial ventures. Okay, so see what happens, there are a number of people who are going to join over there. Okay, so what is the main goal of joining or the collaboration of those people? Okay, to conduct the entrepreneurial venture. Okay, so here there will be a support, sustainability and the creativity among the people who are going to gather over there within a specific geographical area or industry. Again, it is a specific geographical area or industry. So we are supposed to conduct a business based on the culture, based on the tradition, based on the legacy, okay, of that particular geographical location. Okay, see, the food habits of the people may differs from one geographical location to another geographical location. Okay, so it may be North India to South India, it may be India and foreign countries. Okay, so it differs from one particular geographical location to another geographical location, and in the same way in terms of industries also. Okay, so the norms which is being followed in product based sector is not being followed in a service based sector. So it is a thing. In similar terms, it is the environment where the startups are born, grow and thrive, supported by different players and resources. Okay, so what happens? So we may notice a number of startups which keep starting from one day and it is going to end at another day. Okay, so there are a number of startup which is going to come for a market. Okay, so which cannot survive for the present throat cut competition, for the present upgraded generation, for the present needs and wants and desires of the customers. Okay, so we can see a number of things which is going to happen. Okay, the one organization, it is going to start today and it is going to close tomorrow. Okay, so it is going to thrown out of the market. Okay, so these are all the things which is going to happen in the market. So that we say business is completely a risk of uncertainty. Uncertainties are there. Okay, so we cannot assure the complete profit, we cannot assure the complete loss. It is a combination of profit and loss, but the only person one who used to bear the risk of the business is entrepreneurs. Okay, moving forward, key elements of a startup ecosystem. So there are certain elements that we need to consider when it comes in terms of a startup ecosystem. Which are those elements? So startups, the name itself, it is going to say that, okay, so it is a new ventures which has been established in the market. The central element of the ecosystem, because we call this startup as a central element of the ecosystem, because without that startup there is no business. Okay, so there is no generation of the economic activity, hence we say that it is a central element of a ecosystem. So innovation, high growth potential components that develop the new products or services. Okay, so here we need to focus on the innovative ideas, that is the creativity, and also growth potential components that develop the products and the services. So we need to also concentrate towards the potential components, means it is an extra component which support the main component, which support the main business. Second one is entrepreneurs. Okay, so it is a kind of the venture. Startup is a venture. Okay, who is going to start that venture? Okay, it has been started by the entrepreneurs. That business is being started by the entrepreneurs, the one who is going to take the complete risk of the business. Individuals or teams who create and lead startups. Okay, so it may be a group of people or it may be a individual person. Okay, one who take the initiative and start up the venture. They drive innovation, take risk. Okay, so they drive innovation. There must be a creativity, there must be a upgradation. We need to get upgrade as per the trend, as per the generation, as per the desires of the customers. Okay, as per the innovation. Take risk of the business. As I say, there is a truth good competition in a business. Okay, so they are the one who are going to bear the risk of the business. Seek to solve problems through business ventures. Okay, so the number of problems are nothing but the needs of the customers, wants of the customers, desires of the customers. Okay, so how they are going to sort out the problems of the customer? By facilitating the product to the customers. For example, so my need is a smartphone, okay, with very good features, camera quality, durability, build quality. Okay, so I'm going to expect these all things from a smartphone. Okay, if I get that smartphone in a market, I get satisfied because I have a problem of having a beautiful smartphone. Okay, so if I get smartphone, I get satisfied. So what happens? These entrepreneurs are going to facilitate the product to the end user of a commodity called consumers. Investors, again, so there is a group of people, one who is going to expect something out of their investment, that we call it as a return on investment. Okay, so investors, so these are the group of people who are going to expect the return by investing on the business. But these people are the one who are going to bear the risk of the business. These people won't bear the risk of business. Okay, so these people play a safer game. Okay, so provide funding to the startups at various stages. Okay, it is going to provide funding to the startup, because if the entrepreneur, okay, so they don't have a sufficient capital for a new startup, okay, they can borrow the fund from the investors, of which the investors are going to expect something called return on investment. Help startups scale and sustain growth. Okay, hence it is going to think about tomorrow. Whatever the business that they are going to take, that is a risk of uncertainty, it is futuristic. Okay, so I am supposed to achieve a profit of 1 crore rupees. I am supposed to achieve a profit of 100 crore rupees in future days. Okay, it is a futuristic approach. Support organizations. Support organizations are the intermediaries which support the main organization. Say for example, my organization is going to manufacture chalk paste. Okay, so which are the support organization? It may be marketing intermediaries, it may be advertising intermediaries, it may be the platforms. Okay, so these are all the examples. Include incubators, accelerators, co-working spaces, and innovative hubs. Okay, so there are certain virtual organizations which support the main organization. Offer mentorship, networking, operations, training, access to funding or resources. So these are all the facilities that is being facilitated by the intermediaries. It may be the networking, it may be the operations of the organization which stand as the external party, and regarding the training and development of the employees in the organization. Okay, most of the organization, what exactly they are going to do is, okay, so they are going to take the people from the outside, okay, for training and development. Okay, so that is a thing. And also regarding the mentorship, it is also going to take care of the organizations, that is a new employees of the organization, okay, as a mentors. Educational and research institutions. When it comes in terms of the educational and research institution, it is going to give the contribution to the organization, that is the startups. Say what happens, whatever the knowledge that we gain, whatever the technology that we use today, so that is from the education institutions and the research institutions. Okay, so universities and research center that provides the talent, research and innovation. Okay, means I'm going to hire the employees for the organization. Who is going to provide that employees from the end of the university? Okay, from the end of the research institutions. Okay, so if I want a quality of work, okay, I'm supposed to hire the quality of good quality employees. And also foster entrepreneurship through programs, competitions and partnerships. Okay, so these are all the things it is going to take care of. Okay, so it is also a holistic concept that I can say, which is going to focus on many basis. Government and policy makers. Okay, so there are certain policies that must be followed by the entrepreneurs. There are certain restrictions made by government of India and government of Karnataka, that is state government and central government. The entrepreneurs must follow all the instructions, guidance, regulations that is given by the government. Okay, so certain policies, regulations and incentives that encourage startup growth. Okay, so government also provides certain incentives, that is subsidy based loans to the entrepreneurs for the development, for their personal benefits. Provide grants, tax benefit, startup friendly regulations. Okay, so these are all the regulations or the rules that must followed by the new startups. Okay, so tax benefits for the new startup, there is a special kind of a tax benefit from the end of the central government, and grants that is being given by the government as a loan. Corporation and industry patterns. Okay, so there are a number of corporations and the industry pattern which is going to support the organization. Okay, so collaborate with the startups through partnerships. Okay, so it is going to collaborate with the industries in the name of partnership. Say for example, okay, so I am aiming a business which is worth of 100 crore. I do not have any kind of a investor and my investment is only 20 crore. Okay, so remaining 80 crore is needed. Okay, so they are going to collaborate the group of people, that is a corporation. Okay, so for the monetary and other benefit. Acquisitions. Okay, so mergers and acquisitions plays a vital role when it comes in terms of this ecosystem. Open innovation programs. Again, so there is a open innovation program that is being conducted from the organization to show off its performance and the capacity. Provide market access, mentorship and technological support. Okay, so it is also going to facilitate the market access and also like mentorship means for the new startup, they doesn't even have a proper plan. Okay, so they are acting as a mentorship, that is a senior most industrialist, senior most entrepreneurs. Okay, so they are going to help the new startups so that they are going to develop themselves and beneficial for the ecosystem. Mentors and advisors. Okay, again the mentors and advisors, I will just give you the example. Okay, so I'm a new entrepreneur in a market. Okay, I don't know how exactly I can market my product, how exactly I can advertise my product, how exactly I can sell my product, who is my target customers. I do not have answer for these all questions. So this senior most entrepreneurs, they are going to help me, okay, by facilitating services, by facilitating certain plans, strategies, and they are going to take up my initiatives. Okay, so these are all the facilities that is being provided. Okay, so on monetary basis. Experienced entrepreneurs and professionals who guide startups. Okay, so as I said, these are the experienced people who used to guide the new startup so that they also can develop themselves and also give the contribution. Operations and scaling, and also it is going to manage the operations, manage the complete work of the organization, and mentoring also been provided. Okay, all the kinds of facilities that is being provided by the experienced, expertised people. How does this startup ecosystem in India work? How exactly the startup ecosystem in India is going to work? Okay, see, whatever the startup it is, okay, whether it is a product based company or a service based company, okay, step by step development is going to happen. Okay, by taking the benefit of the senior most or the experienced, expertised people. Okay, here we classify the stages of the organization into 4 categories. Okay, so the first stage is known as the idea generation stage, that we call it as a ideation stage. Okay, so here we are going to plan for conduction of any kind of a business at the first stage, because I'm not aware of that particular kind of business. Okay, so because it is very new for me, there is a very new concept for me, but as a beginner, okay, I'm not aware of those all things, just it is a planning stage that I can say. Okay, so idea generation stage. The entry stage. Entry stage. Okay, after planning everything, okay, we are going to execute the same thing, that we call it as the entry stage or entry phase in the life cycle, that is product life cycle. A growth stage, after entering the market, say for example, this is a scale how we can measure the sales. Okay, so this is a sales volume, how exactly it is going to work. Okay, so at the beginning, okay, so here I had a planned for everything, as per the plan I am going to execute in the market. Okay, I'm going to execute in the market. Okay, so at the beginning I will be in the entry stage. This is a entry stage where there is no idea regarding that particular thing. Okay, the sales volume is less, the investment is less, the customer base is less. Okay, so the awareness is less, marketing activity is less, advertising is less, because it is a beginning stage of my product. Because I won't, as an entrepreneur, I won't like to spend more towards advertisement, marketing, and these all things. Okay, because there is no assurance regarding the acceptance of my product in the market by the customers. Okay, so that is the reason this is the entry stage, followed by growth stage. Okay, entry stage we call it as a first stage in the entrepreneurship. Second stage is growth stage. The last stage we call it as a maturity stage. Okay, so that is a third stage. Okay, after reaching the maturity stage, the next stage will be again decline stage. Okay, so after reaching a peak level of a business, okay, so the business will come down, that we call it as a decline. It is not included in the syllabus, but this final stage we call it as a decline stage. Okay, so entry stage, growth, maturity, and decline stage, these are the four phases of a product cycle. Overview of the Indian startup policy and ecosystem. Okay, so when it comes in terms of overview, it is going to highlight the different kinds of the Indian policies that is being contributed by the central government, that is government of India, to the people or inhabitants. First concept is Startup India. Okay, hope you people are aware of this beautiful concept, that is Startup India. So what is the main goal of this Startup India? Say what happens. So there are two kind of things which is going to happen. Okay, so one is import, second one is export. Okay, so if I purchase more foreign goods, foreign commodities from the foreign countries, okay, it is expenditure to my country. Okay, economy will go down. Okay, so if I manufacture the product in my country and sell in the foreign countries, okay, so what happens? Okay, there is a generation of revenue to my country. Okay, again it is a kind of the contribution for our ecosystem. Okay, so this is the actual concept, background of the Startup India concept, because Indians must learn to use Indian made product and also manufacture more number of product and export the product, earn the income, earn the revenue from the foreign country. Okay, the central government, that is Narendra Modi government in the year 2016, okay, so they had started this concept, Startup India. Startup India is the flagship innovative of the government of India. Okay, so it is a flagship innovation that is made by government of India, launched in January 16, 2016. Okay, so it is implemented in 2016, that is January, to promote innovation, entrepreneurship, and job creation. Okay, so these are the main problems of our country, that is economic problems of our country. If we are innovative, if we give the product that is being asked by the foreign countries, that is foreign merchants, okay, they are going to buy our product, which is going to generate income to my country, and also the entrepreneurship. Okay, so there is a number of people, okay, whatever the thing I have, okay, so that is enough for me. Okay, so there are a number of people, especially in developing countries like India, okay, so they won't like business. Okay, they just like the job, morning 9 o'clock till evening 6 o'clock. That is much than enough for those people. Okay, because they cannot even fulfill their basic requirements. Okay, there are number of Indian inhabitants, they do not even able to fulfill their basic requirement. Okay, if they take the initiative, if they conduct any kind of a business, okay, if they take the risk, okay, they can earn money which can fulfill their basic requirement and their desires as well. Okay, so job creation. in the country. Okay, the main goal of this Startup India is to create job in our country, because India as a developing country is facing unemployment problem, high density of population problem. Okay, literacy rate is one of the problem of our country. Okay, so these are the problems that is being faced by Indians. It aims to build a startup ecosystem that nurtures startup, okay, drives sustainable economic growth and creates large scale employment opportunities. Okay, so here the employment opportunities is being provided on the large scale basis. Here, what exactly the objectives of Startup India? So when it come in terms of Startup in India concept, okay, so to support the entrepreneurs and also to create the job opportunities, this scheme had established. Okay, so to promote entrepreneurship across the country. Okay, so this scheme is going to facilitate the loan facility, extra support from the end of the government of India for the people one who willing to take the initiative, willing to take the risk, bear the risk. Okay, so simplify the process of starting and running the business. Okay, so the startup, the registration process, okay, so the authentication process, okay, all the things is going to happen within few steps, that is virtually. Okay, so no need to roam from one office to another office, one to take the approval, to take the signature. Okay, these are all the things that has been avoided, okay, after the establishment of this Startup India concept. Provide funding support and incentives to startups. Okay, so the government of India is going to provide the funding support from the end of the banking companies, okay, by facilitating the loan with subsidy. Okay, so it is beneficial for most of the organizations. Okay, faster innovation through incubation and research. Okay, so it keep always updating from time to time, trend to trend, and generation to generation. The business itself, it is dynamic in nature, which keep on changing. Build network between the startups, innovations, and monitor academia. Okay, so it is going to not only going to give the innovation, but also it is going to monitor whatever the changes which is going to happen in the market. Moving forward, here we are going through certain initiatives that has been taken by the government of India, and also its key features: simplification and hand holding. Okay, so here they are going to make a simplified way, the process as a simplified way, and in the same way the hand holding also. Online Startup India hub for the registration and resources. Okay, so it is going to provide the virtual organization for the registration and the further resource that is needed for the new startup. Self certification under the labor and the environment laws. Okay, so if they upload the complete information, okay, the generation of the certificate can happen very easily, which is beneficial for taking the loan, okay, taking the subsidy from the end of the government, to recover the losses. Okay, these are all the things it is going to benefit. Faster patent examination and 80% rebate on filling fees. Okay, so when it comes in terms of patents, okay, there are certain fees that is being paid. Okay, so they are going to give 80% of the rebate on the fees that is being paid by the enterprise. Who is going to pay this 80% of the amount? That is government of India, to support the firm. The next concept is funding support and incentives. So how exactly it is going to fund the entrepreneurs for their benefit? Fund and funds for startups, FFS, with 10,000 crore managed by SIDBI. Okay, so it is an organization which is going to take care of funding that has been completely controlled by government of India. Credit guarantee schemes for startup, that is CGSS, that is credit guarantee schemes. Okay, there are number of credit guarantee schemes that has been launched by government of India. So, and also it is going to give the tax exemption for the new startups, okay, up to 3 years, and also holiday within 10 years. That is a new kind of contribution that has been given by the government. Exemption on the capital gains if reinvested in the startup funds. Okay, so it is also giving the exemption from the capital gains. Okay, only it is applicable for the new ventures, not for the old companies. Again, regarding the industry academia, partnership and incubation. Okay, so the establishment of research parks, incubators and innovation centers, top institutions. So there are a number of research centers, incubation centers, or the education universities that has been given for their own contribution. That may be IITs, NITs, IISERs, etc. Okay, there are a number of top institutions. Atal Institution Mission, that is AIM, to promote culture of innovation. Okay, so it is one of the largest institution which is going to promote the innovation, so that it is going to benefit for our country. So they kept a name name of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Eligibility for recognition under Startup India. Here, if a company should recognize under the Startup India, there are certain eligibility criteria. And in the same way, what is the benefit if a company, okay, recognized under Startup India? Means there is a number of benefit that the company can enjoy. Okay, it may be tax related benefits, it may be loan related benefits, it may be non-monetary benefits. There are a number of benefits that is being given by Government of India for that company which is recognized under Startup India. Okay, so if a company want to register under this Startup India, if a company want to recognize under this Startup India, okay, so there are certain criteria. If that company fulfill all these criteria, then that company can recognize under Startup India program. Okay, so what is the eligibility criteria? That company registered as a private limited company, LLP, or partnership firm. Okay, so that company, either it should recognize as a private limited company, okay, under the Companies Act, or LLP under Companies Act, or a partnership from under Companies Act. Okay, so if a company fulfill all these criteria, okay, so either it have to recognize under private limited company, it should be recognized under LLP, or it should be recognized as a partnership firm. Okay, so if it get recognized under this criteria, okay, so the company is eligible for this startup. And in the same way, in terms of public sector company cannot register under Startup India program. Has been operational for less than 10 years. Okay, so that a company should be running its operation that is less than 10 years, because less than 10 years only we recognize it as a new startup. Has been annual turnover of less than 100 crore rupees. Okay, so it should make the annual turnover less than 100 crore rupees, because it does not lend the money, or micro sector is not been facilitated by this Startup India program. This Startup India program main goal is the rural area, the development of the rural area, and in the same way creation of the employment in the rural area, that is micro and small sectors. Is working towards innovation, development and improvement products. Okay, so whatever the product that is being manufactured in that particular unit, okay, so it should be innovative. Okay, so it should be creative development that should become the reason for the development of the economy of our country. Improvement of products. Okay, so it should manufacture the unique kind of product, services or process. So three kinds of the sector is applicable under this Startup India program. It may be the process industry, it may be the product based industry, or it may be a service based industry. All the kinds of the industry is can be covered under this Startup India program. Impact so far as of recent data. Okay, so they had collected the data. As per the recent data, over 1,20,000 plus startups recognized by DPIIT, 800 plus districts have been list one setup. Okay, so these are all the data that has been collected previously, and also it had generated lakhs together direct or indirect job. It may be direct job or it may be through intermediary. And also it is going to project certain sectors. It may be health sector, education sector, or fetch sector, or any kind of the development sectors. So these are the sectors that is been targeted by this Startup India program. So next concept is Atal Innovation Mission. Okay, so let us just give introduction about Atal Innovation Mission. The Atal Innovation Mission is a flagship innovation mission which is started by Government of India under Niti Ayog. Okay, so Niti Ayog is a Ayog that has been started by Narendra Modi government in 2016. Under Niti Ayog, this concept had introduced. Okay, so that is the reason they kept Atal Bihari Vajpayee name, that we call it as a Atal Innovation Mission. Its main goal is to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship across schools. Okay, so entrepreneurship, the concept of entrepreneurship or the mindset of the entrepreneurship, okay, should start from the childhood itself. So they are going to make this kind of the practice by adding certain subject in their school, okay, and also universities, rich institutions and industry. So this become the reason for the implementation of NEP in 2020, right? Okay, so these are all the practices which should be practiced, and in the same way they are supposed to keep certain subjects which is relevant for the entrepreneurship, so that entrepreneurship mindset should be generated in the minds of the students in their childhood, and they can implement the plan further. And there are certain objectives of this aim: to develop a scientific temperament and the innovative mindset among the student. That is the main goal of this aim. And also it is going to focus on the people one who have a new startup entrepreneurship with resource and membership. Okay, so these are the targeted people under this scheme. To build a innovation ecosystem connecting schools, research institutions, industries and investors. Okay, so it is also going to focus on universities, schools, colleges, okay, and also research institutions as well, to create the job creators instead of job seekers. See how beautiful it is. It is going to create the innovators or the creators of job, not the seekers of job, because instead of carrying the file, carrying the resume, okay, going for the seeking for the job opportunity, they are the one who can create a job. Key initiatives under aim. Okay, so Atal Tinkering Labs. Okay, so when it comes in terms of key initiatives, among them the first one is Atal Tinkering Lab, that is ETLs. So how exactly it is going to work? Means it is going to donate certain products which is beneficial for the students for their lifetime, and in the same way it is going to give the knowledge and also certain equipments, which are all the things that is done by Atal Tinkering Lab. Set up in schools, that is 6th standard to 12th standard, that is first PUC and second PUC, to encourage innovation through hands-on learning. Here earlier there was only theoretical. Today's generation, that theoretical knowledge is being transformed into practical knowledge. Whatever the things that they are going to do, okay, so whether it is a science, commerce, arts, and whatever the stream, engineering, whatever the stream it is, okay, they are going to gain a practical knowledge. That is a contribution that is given by ATLs. Provide equipment like 3D printers, robotics kit, IoT devices. These are all the facilities that has been facilitated from the government to the education institutions and universities for the development of skills of children. Students work on STEM-based projects and learn creative problem solving. Okay, so way how they are going to think. Okay, comparatively it is the upgraded one. Okay, so to earlier days the people are focused on completely on the education or the system. Today the people are going to focus on the knowledge. Atal Incubation Center. Okay, so again it is a center that has been established by central government for the development of the people and development of our economy, established in institutions and organizations to support the startups. Okay, so as I said, it is developed for the development of the economy of our country, that is to safeguard the ecosystem of our country, provide funding, mentorship, infrastructure to help entrepreneurs scale their ideas. Okay, so these are all the things that is been introduced, okay, for the development of our entrepreneurs. Atal Community Innovation Centers. Okay, Atal Community Innovation Center focus on rural and semi-urban areas. Okay, so the name itself, it is going to say community innovation centers. It is going to safeguard the community. It is not about caste or religion. Okay, so it's about a group of people or the geographical location. Okay, so here in the developing countries like India, more than 60% of our country is from the rural. Okay, so that is farm agriculture is a more occupation of most of the Indians. So if we develop that rural area, it is beneficial for the development of our nation. Okay, so focus on the rural and the semi-urban areas. Okay, so again, so semi-urban is not fully urban area. To develop that urban area into fully urban area, encourage local innovation and entrepreneurship to solve community based challenges. Okay, so there are a number of challenges based on the group of people. To sort out this kind of the problem, this scheme has been introduced. Atal New India Challenges, that is ANICS. This program had started to identify the national problems and also to invite the solution for that particular problems by using the new startups. Okay, so which are the problems of our country? Say for example, it may be employment. Okay, there is no proper employment opportunity, entrepreneurship, and again rural development, education. So these are the problems of our country. Population. Okay, these are the problems of our country. To sort out the problem through entrepreneurship is the main goal of Atal New India Challenges, and also provide grants and mentorship for improving solutions in sectors like health, education, agriculture, etc. Okay, so if we develop these sectors in our country, our country can become developed country. It may be health sector, education sector, or agriculture sector. This sector act as a backbone. Atal Research and Innovation for Small Enterprises. Okay, when this plays a vital role, the name itself, it is going to say it is a kind of a research organization. Promotes R&D innovation among the MES and startups. Okay, so micro, small, and medium enterprises. Okay, so it is going to give its research and development activities, and also it ensures the collaboration with the public sector undertakings to develop technology based solutions. Okay, so it mainly focus on the technology and research and development, which is beneficial for the development of our country. Key initiatives under AIM. Okay, so there are a number of key initiatives that has been taken by AIM. I had listed few among them. The first one is over 10,000 plus Atal Thinking Labs established across India. Okay, so across India there are 10,000 plus Atal labs that has been contributed by Government of India. 75 plus Atal induction centers supporting the hundreds of startups. Moving forward, key initiatives under AIM. So there are a number of initiatives taken by AIM in our country. I had listed few among them. Over 10,000 plus Atal Thinking Labs established across India. Okay, so here 10,000 plus Atal Thinking Labs had established for the benefit of students, and also 75 plus Atal incubation centers supporting the hundreds of startups. Okay, so this incubation center is beneficial for the entrepreneurs to give the business ideas and also to contribute a business plan. 2.5 million plus students engaged in innovation activities. Okay, so right now as per the recent data, there are 2.5 million students. Promotion of grassroots innovation and entrepreneurship culture in both urban and rural areas. Okay, it is not only focus on rural area and not only urban area. It is going to focus both rural and urban area. And regarding the vision, to transform India into an innovation driven economy. Okay, so it is goal is to transform India as an innovation driven economy by empowering youths and entrepreneurs to create technology based solutions for the nation's development. Okay, moving forward, objectives of incubators. Okay, so what exactly the objectives of incubators? To nurture the innovative ideas and turn them into viable business. Okay, so innovative ideas creation is not important, but implementation of that idea is much more important. It provide the infrastructure, mentorship, and also technical guidance. Okay, so it is also going to provide the infrastructure from the end of the government. Okay, so we can utilize the infrastructure to my business. We are supposed to pay a certain amount as a rentals to the government, and also the mentorship. So from the end of the government, they are going to facilitate the mentorship by the expertised people, as I explained earlier. Okay, so technological guidance regarding the technology that we use, starting from machine learning, IoT till artificial intelligence, everything guidance will be given by the government of India to help the startups across the funding, networking and marketing opportunities. Okay, so these are all the initiative that has been taken, that is funding, okay, as a investor, networking to provide the platform to the organizations to run the business, to market operations, and also to run the operations of that particular organization, whether it is a product sector or service sector, to create the employment opportunity through the entrepreneurship. Okay, it is also creating an entrepreneurship, the employment opportunity as a entrepreneurs, to promote the innovation driven economic growth, innovation driven economic growth, because all the countries, they are recognized as developed countries just because of their innovation. Okay, so that innovation leads for the development of our economy and development of our country, to speed up the growth of promising startup. Okay, so to speed up the new startup is a main goal of this scheme, to connect the startups with mentors, investors and industry expert. Okay, by facilitating the guidance for their development, they are going to develop the industry, to help the startups refine their business model and strategy. Okay, so refining of business strategy is much more important, to preparing of startups for funding and marketing entry. Okay, so if there is any kind of the problem that has been faced by the startup, as I explained in the previous feature also, the same kind of thing is applicable here also. Okay, here the difference between the incubators and accelerators. Okay, so when it come in terms of incubators is going to mainly focus on idea development, but accelerators are going to focus on rapid growth. And in the same way, here incubators are in the early or idea stage, means in the early or the beginning stage when it come in terms of incubator. Accelerators, early revenue or growth stage, means here they are in the beginning stage, they are in the next level, who are that is accelerators. And when it come in terms of duration, this incubators is a long term process, or the long term, that is 1 or 2 year. When it come in terms of the accelerators, it is 3 months to 6 months. When it comes in terms of funding, usually no direct funding, all the funding is going to happen indirectly. Here seed funding provided. Okay, so from the beginning itself. When it comes in terms of a structure, this incubators is a aspect and accelerators is fixed, court or based. Role in startup ecosystem. Okay, so here when it comes in terms of a startup ecosystem, how exactly it is going to benefit the new entrepreneurs, acts as a bridge between the government policy and entrepreneurs. Okay, here all the entrepreneurs must follow the government policy that is being made by the government. Okay, there are certain laws which must followed by all the entrepreneurs. Okay, so it act as a bridge between the entrepreneurs and the government policies, provide institutional infrastructure, training and mentoring for the startup creation. Okay, so it is also going to facilitate the infrastructure facility, training facility and mentoring facility for the new startup by the expertised people for their personal development, promotes the innovation and the technology based entrepreneurship. Okay, so whatever the thing that is being developed, that is through innovation and the technology based entrepreneurship. NIMSME is a primary national institution that provides the training, research, consultancy and incubation support to strengthen the startup, that is micro, small and the medium enterprises ecosystem in India. So this is the first initiative taken by the government of India, that is the start of NIMSME. Moving forward, Prime Minister Employment Generation program. Okay, so regarding the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, it is an initiative that has been taken by Government of India for the employment generation in our country by looking at the literacy rate, by looking at the unemployment condition of our country. They had introduced this kind of program, and there are certain aim of this program. Okay, introduction. PM EGP, that is Prime Minister Employment Guarantee Program. PMEGP is a credit-linked subsidy scheme launched in the year 2008. 2008 itself, they had started this kind of a program, but nowadays it has been implemented in a systematic way, and we can notice the development. Implemented by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, that is MSME Act. This program has been implemented by MSME Act, and also this commission have a nodal agency, that is Khadi and Village Industry Commission. Okay, so this commission act as a nodal agency, and its aim is to generate the employment opportunities through self-employment ventures in the rural and urban areas. It is going to focus both on rural and urban area, because even in urban area also there are a number of people who cannot fulfill their basic requirement. Based on that, they had done. Okay, so when it comes in terms of objectives, to create the employment of both rural and urban area, this is the main goal of this plan, and also to promote the entrepreneurship among the youth and unemployed people. Okay, so to bring up the entrepreneurship in our country, to support micro enterprises and strengthen the MSMEs, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. Empowering agencies. Okay, there are certain empowering agencies, that is KVIC in the national level, again in the state level, state KVIBs, and in the same way district industries centers. Okay, in the district level, in the national level, state level and district level. There are certain key features of this act. Financial assistance. Okay, financial assistance is one of the criteria that we should consider when it comes in terms of this plan. If one of the organization get the financial benefit from the end of the government, it is going to run effectively and efficiently, and there are a number of new startups that can be started by providing the financial assistance from the end of central government. Bank provides loans for new projects subsidy basis. Okay, so it is also going to give the subsidy on the loan amount. Say for example, if I take the loan of 10 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees is subsidy. Okay, so remaining 7 lakh rupees I am supposed to pay for a loan payback. Subsidy rates, again in the same way, the subsidy rate also differs. Okay, from a rural area, urban area. Okay, so different kinds of a project, different kinds of a geographical location, what kind of a situation, all the things differs, what kind of a activity that they are going to do. Okay, and also subsidy is been facilitated by the banker from the end of this scheme. Okay, so it totally differs. When it comes in terms of a urban area, 15% to 25% of subsidy can be taken by the entrepreneurs. When it comes in terms of rural area, 25% to 35% of subsidy can be taken by the entrepreneurs. And project cost limited, it can take the loan up to rupees 25 lakh for manufacturing sector, and it can take up to 10 lakh rupees for the service based company. Here we can notice it is going to focus highly on the manufacturing industry rather than the service based industry in our country. Okay, because we need to export the product and earn the revenue to our country. The eligibility criteria, any industrial aged 18 years and above. Okay, so any kind of the entrepreneur who is aged 18 and above can apply, is eligible to apply for this kind of a scheme. Must have at least 8 standard pass for project above 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so it is also asking, okay, so the qualification. Okay, so the one who had qualified 8th standard from the recognized school or the university. Okay, so he is eligible to conduct the business, that is up to 10 lakh rupees in terms of a manufacturing sector, up to 5 lakh rupees when it comes in terms of a service sector. Only new projects are eligible. Okay, so no expansion or existing units. Okay, so they are going to promote only for the new project. Only if the business is already in existence, they are not going to fund this kind of the organizations. Moving forward, next concept is Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Okay, so when it comes in terms of Khadi and Village Industries Commission, okay, it is a statutory body under Ministry of MSME, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. Under that scheme, this program has been established. It promote Khadi and village industries in rural areas. The main aim of promoting the Khadi and village areas is the main aim of this kind of program. Support provided, that is technological support, training support, financial support and marketing support. These are all the support that is being provided by the organization. And again, SIDBI, Small Industries Development Operation Bank of India. Okay, so it is a financial institution by the initiative of central government. It had been established, and the main focus on financing and developing micro, small and medium enterprises. Okay, so there are certain support provided. Again, it also consists of the technological support, training support, financial support and the marketing support. When it comes in terms of technological support regarding the upgraded technology, okay, so whatever the upgradation that is going to happen in the today's generation regarding the training by the expertised people and also funding, okay, with subsidy and marketing their product. Okay, see, startup from the technology, okay, the innovation, the creativity, end up with the marketing and sales. Okay, all the things is being facilitated by the government, but there are number of people who cannot utilize these all facilities. Legal basics for the startups. Okay, so entry formation regulations, that is taxation benefits. Okay, there are a number of legal formalities that can be followed by the new startups. For legal business and the tax benefits, startups should first choose a legal structure. Okay, so start from with the legal structure. Okay, any of the entity, that is private limited company, LLP or the partnership firm. So as I said, as a eligibility criteria, and also incorporate it, then register of the Startup India portal to become a DPIIT recognized startup. Okay, so if this startup get recognized by this DPIIT authority, okay, so it will get facilities that is being facilitated by the government, such as tax exemption, it may be a subsidy loan facility or other facilities. This recognition unlocks tax benefits including 100% income tax exemption for 3 consecutive years under section 80 IAC, and also it have exemptions from the angel tax under the section 56 and gets tax under section 54 GB. Means when compared to all the sections, this section is going to put a very minimum tax on the enterprise, because if the tax is less, the income will be more. Okay, to support the entrepreneurs, these are all the things that has been facilitated. Okay, see, it is going to give the complete 100% of the exemption from its income tax. Okay, and also it is also going to sort out this kind of a tax kind of issue. So it is going to put the tax on section 54 GB. Okay, so these are all the things that is being facilitated by the government. The next session, we are going with unit 4. It's about Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Act. So what exactly the act is and which are all the benefit that has been facilitated by this act, these are all the things that we need to learn in the next session. Thank you.